Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to be doing a process video in my journaling Bible, but I first wanted to show you the April bundle from TheHungryJpeg because I will be using some elements from the latest bundle. They did give it to me to use, but I have been a lover of TheHungryJpeg forever, and there is some beautiful stuff in this month's bundle. So what I like to do is I take the kind of preview image from their site and I print it out, and that way I have a look at all the different fonts that come in the bundle and the different whatchamacallit, element bundles that come in there. So they set up the fonts on these little previews so you can kind of see a look at what the fonts look like and the names of them. And this makes it so I can quickly scan through and just look and see, you know, if I'm looking for a particular font that's either kind of whimsical and fun or something that's a little more girly, or I don't know. You can go through and look at all the different fonts. So these are all the fonts that you get with the bundle. And then you get these fonts here also. And then these are the graphics packages that come in this bundle. So all of this is included in the monthly bundle. And there are some beautiful watercolor elements this month. Lots and lots of tropical themed goodness. So if you are working through the Fruit of the Spirit devotional kit from By the Well for God, and you're looking for some maybe printables that you want to make on your own to go with that kit, there are 4 different tropical bundles alone with all kinds of florals and birds and all kinds of fun things. There's a whole bundle with watercolor cats, this fun Paris one with foods and florals and some African animals. I mean, there's just a little bit of something for everybody. So I am using elements from this one here. I can't remember what it's called. I'll list it down below. But it comes with these little floral bunches already put together. And it also comes with the individual floral elements that are watercolor. And then it comes with these kind of sketchy, I think they called them, not silhouettes. Anyways, gosh guys, words are hard today. Comes with these little line drawing elements that you can layer over the top, but I'm gonna be using these by themselves with some watercolor today, and I'll show you how I do that. But I pulled these into Photoshop. I have a playlist on my channel. It's titled Computer Tutorials, which shows you various different ways to pull elements either into Photoshop, Silhouette Studio, and Word, Microsoft Word, I believe. And so I just laid these out on a page, an 8.5 by 11, and this is clear sticker paper. And I just pulled the elements I wanted to use and created a little printable page. So I'm gonna be using these pieces here, and then I'm gonna be using these pieces later on in my 100 Days of Bible Promises project. So stay tuned because I will be using those little bits. And so let's dive in. I've pulled out all kinds of goodies. I'm gonna be doing some ink smushing with Distress Oxide inks on photo paper. I've done this in a video before. I'm gonna make some little alphas that I can use with this entry. So let's dive in and we'll start with creating our alphabets.
Okay, so I have a Ranger craft sheet on my desk just to protect my surface from the ink, and I'm going to smush out several different green Distress Oxide inks. I tried like 5 different combinations and I still wasn't totally happy with this one, so I can't remember what colors I used. I will link them down below so you can find them. I was trying to match the deep forest moss color that's used on the opposing Bible page, but you'll see that here in a minute. So I wet those inks and then I just dip the photo paper down into the ink. Yes, you can do this with regular Distress inks also. It's just a little bit different, and I'll show you that here in a second. But I went ahead and did that with 2 pieces of paper or 2 pieces of photo paper and then dry it. You can add multiple layers. And here's where Distress Oxide inks are different. So you'll go in with a dry paper towel and buff off the like chalky finish that's on the top. If you use regular Distress inks, you won't need to do this. So now you can see the difference between this one here that hadn't been buffed and the one up in the corner that had been buffed off. If you don't buff it off, that will rub off in your Bible. So you want to make sure that you buff it off. So just kind of a fun little technique there. Now I'm going to go ahead and die cut some alpha letters out, or alpha letters, duh. they are alpha letters, alphabets, out of this piece of cardstock or photo paper. Gosh, guys, this is rough. So I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cutting machine. I've had a lot of questions about which one I like. I've tried both the Big Shot and this one, and this is kind of my go-to that I reach for. So I will link the dies that I use down below. They're from Concord and Ninth. And basically, I just make a sandwich like it shows on that base plate there and run it through the machine. And photo paper is a little bit thicker, so they don't really get stuck in the die, so I can just pull them out of that piece of paper and they're ready to go. So now we can work on the Bible page. So I am going to prep my page with clear gesso. And that's because I'm going to be doing some watercoloring with distress inks. If you have watercolors, I don't typically prep my page. I'm just going to show you, if you don't have watercolors, you can use distress inks to watercolor with, or distress oxide inks. And I'm trying to match the colors that's on that opposing page because I did stamp with distress inks on the opposite page. So I'm wanting them to kind of match. So I did go ahead and apply 2 layers of clear gesso, drying in between each layer. And now I've gone ahead and fussy cut out all the flowers that I'm going to use and kind of laid them out where I want them to be. And that way I kind of know where to lay color down. So I'm taking several different purples, seedless preserves, shaded lilac, and then tattered rose, which is a really light pink. And I'm just smushing them out onto an acrylic block. You could use a craft sheet or any nonstick surface. And this is going to be my palette that I work from. And so my paintbrush is nice and wet, and I'm just going to pick up some ink and dab it onto the page. And you'll notice, because I'm working on gesso, that it does kind of pool and move a lot differently than it would on just a bare naked page, but I like the texture that it creates underneath these floral images. So I'm just going to go through and just dab on color. I'm not worried about being perfect. I want it to be super loose and just be a splash of color underneath these stickers. So I am working in Psalm 46:10. Which says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." And so this is a pretty popular verse in this, be still and know that I am God. And this doesn't mean just sit, do nothing, and let God run your life and do everything for you. He isn't going to do that. He can do that, but that's not really what we're called to do. This is more meaning be still and don't be anxious. Don't be fretting. This is addressing war that's going on, and there's a lot of fighting at the time that this was written. And so he's just saying, be still. You don't need to be anxious. You don't need to be super stressing out about everything that's going on. I will take care of it. I'm God, and I've got it under control. And so I am somebody who really suffers from anxiety, and this is a verse that I need to memorize and have in front of me all the time, because my fretting and trying to solve all the problems in my head at midnight while I'm laying in bed isn't going to fix it. That's God. God's got it. He is in control of it. So I just wanted to do a quick journaling page. So you can see I went ahead and added some greens in there also, and then made sure everything was good and dry, and then now I can apply the stickers over it. And you'll see it doesn't perfectly match up, but that's what I was going for. And here I noticed my finger was a little bit wet, and so when I touched the top of the sticker, since I had printed these with my inkjet printer, it lifted some of the ink off of that sticker. So I will have to go back in with a pen and fix that. Just be aware, you want to make sure no water gets on these stickers because it will lift if you used a inkjet printer. So I've sped this up quite a bit because it's really just mushing color and then sticking stickers down. Nothing too fancy or crazy. And here I just cut apart a piece and added it in there because I had accidentally painted an extra floral. I don't know, guys. I am having an off couple days. My head's just not all there. Now to add in those alphabets that we cut out earlier, I'm going to use my Xyron sticker maker. I am kind of out of frame, sorry about that, but you just put these through the top of the machine, pull out the paper from the bottom, and it sandwiches it with adhesive covering the entire back side of these stickers, or these alphabets. So you want to rub them down real good, that way it picks up the extra adhesive that might be around the letters. Pull off this top sheet, and now you have a sheet of alpha stickers. So then I can just take those and stick those directly to the page. This particular die set has an outline and an internal piece, and so I wanted to keep both of those together. And so by using the Xyron sticker maker, I made sure that there was adhesive on the back side of every bit of these letters. I do go ahead and use my EK Success powder tool. You could just use baby powder over the top of these, and this just takes care of any adhesive that might still be exposed. That way my pages don't stick together. So that powder deactivates the adhesive basically, and so your pages won't stick. Then I'll just go in and outline the letters so that they stand out a little more. I'm going to finish it up with some watercolor splatters using my Illustrated Faith black watercolor. You could use Black Soot Distress ink if you don't have watercolors. And that's just to, again, tie it in with that opposing page so they're kind of similar and match. And then I'll go in and add some journaling, and that is it for the entry today. Super simple, super fun. Be sure to check out the links down below as well as over on my blog so you can grab the impressive April bundle for yourself, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Leave any questions or comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you were inspired. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.